you go.
Hi everyone, Kate Bohr and Fiona Pearman joining you this week for Facebook Live, where this month we're going to be digging into psychological safety, and we'll talk more about some of the legalities around that, the changes in the environment over the coming weeks. Today we want to just touch on, I guess, the concept of psychological safety. Through COVID, an incredible amount of focus, rightly so, was put on employee well-being, the evolution of that conversation, both at organisations at a societal level, Are You OK Day, all those sorts of influences have really evolved the safety conversation from kind of blue collar to expand the conversations around from physical to in mental and emotional safety as well, which I think has been a fantastic shift. I think this piece around understanding what it is. The McKinsey definition has psychological safety means feeling safe to take interpersonal risks, to speak up, to disagree openly, to surface concerns without fear of negative repercussions or pressure to sugarcoat bad news. And I think when we hear that definition, what really resonates for me is how actually difficult it is for organisations, for leaders, to create psychological safety in organisations.
Yeah, I think we're in a really interesting inflection point around this. We've brought something into the open that probably wasn't as discussed as openly even a few years ago. And we're really starting to understand that people's psychological safety is as important as their physical safety. And that's why these definitions and starting to come to grips with them and understanding what's getting in the way of this being the way we operate in organisations. It's a really useful conversation. I think absolutely it is a difficult one because there are lots of dynamics playing out every moment in organisations. There are, rules and policies that are coming from different parts of the organisation. Leaders have to deliver on, BAU and targets. Teams are doing their best sometimes to function well across, maybe diverse geographic locations. And there can be a lot of default ways that we behave that we're maybe even unaware of are having a negative impact on others. And I think this is the place where we've got some real work to do individually here to get self-aware, to start to understand maybe how I'm contributing, even if I'm not aware of it inadvertently, to a situation that makes other people feel not psychologically safe.
Yeah, I think the role of self-awareness, it's certainly something we do in our Acts of Confidence program. When we reference feeling safe to take risks, to speak up, to disagree openly, we hear time and time again in the women that we work with, they don't feel safe or confident, whichever word you want to use, to speak up. They don't feel safe to put their hand up for opportunities that perhaps are stretch opportunities. And so I think there's some interesting pieces. The arc that we wrap around this is about redefining your relationship with fear and failure. Our work individually in the Acts of Confidence program is really powerful when we think about translating the conversation individually to leaders and across organisations. We've seen organisations do some great work with growth mindset here. And I think really just recognising for people what's going on for them and equally what could be going on for other people to then really support, coach and nurture behaviour in the workplace.
Yeah, there's a lot we can do individually here. And I think one of the big things is really better understanding ourselves and being willing to dig in and see the places where maybe I'm doing things or my default behavior is not actually helpful. And, one of the things we often talk about when we're coaching leaders in organizations is just to slow down, right? Just to really slow down and notice what's happening. Is that person, I gave some direction to them. Are they actually coming and asking me questions? Am I sure that they've caught what I said properly? Did I say that in a harsh tone? And so now they're feeling as though they'd like to ask for some help, but they don't actually know know how. And I think, every conversation we're in, we often get stories of, I tried to ask for help, but, the response belittled me and made me feel small. And then I don't feel I can really go and get more support because that didn't go well. So, and I don't think this is, I mean, obviously there can be times it is intentional or there's some mean behavior, but a lot of the time it's simply people are stressed, they've got a lot on their plate, they're trying to get stuff done quickly, they're trying to meet deadlines, and we're pushing stuff out, and we're delegating in ways that maybe are not landing well, or people are not feeling as though they have what they need in order to produce well. Then things don't go well, and then we're slamming them for, oh, you didn't deliver that to the way that I had expected. So this piece about being aware of what's going on for me, slowing down and really checking in with others in a way that takes them on the journey, I think all of that fosters a different dynamic that is more likely to create this psychological safety we're talking about.
Yeah, and what I love is the role that everyone plays, that together we're working to, as individuals, as leaders and as organisations, to be able to move towards creating a culture, ultimately, of psychological safety. So lots to come this month as we dig into the conversation here. If you've enjoyed today's Facebook Live confidence conversation, we'd love to hear from you. And of course, we'd love for you to share it with someone in your network who you think would benefit from it. So please tag it or share it with them. If you want to hear more around our confidence conversations, head over to our Facebook page. A great deck there of past videos. We've dug into all sorts of topics. Fear is there. So if you want to dig into individually into that a little bit more, you can do so. And of course, when you're ready to take your relationship with core confidence to the next level, visit our website, coreconfidence.com.au.